Most people are very
can you just
unaware of it.
can you just touch on not? I want to hear it from your mouth what that word means to you.
Well, it's interesting you bring it up because, like I said, it's something I wasn't even aware of properly until I was in these clubhouse spaces and I started to engage with the community a bit and find out a bit about it. And yeah, it is just like the discrimination towards people with disability, and in terms of like where we're at with all of the fight for equality and what's the other word I'm looking for, like civil rights and stuff like that. It's a pretty underrepresented and marginalized community, there's the trans communities very prevalent in advocating and representing for their demographic. And we go through these parts of society where events take place and other marginalized communities have very strong representation. But in terms of that, the disability, which is the disabled communities, from my understanding, is 15% of the world. It's the largest marginalized community in the world, and it's not represented to that degree, and it's the only marginalized community you can join at any time.
Yeah, no shit. No shit.
So yeah, that's what it is. And even within myself, like, I'm pretty liberal. Do you know what I mean? Like, but even I guess, and it's my own internalized ableism, don't really take it seriously as I should. You know what I mean? In terms of, I'm getting there in terms of the emphasis and importance on it and advocating for it. But like when I first heard it, I was just like, But it also comes, interestingly, into identity politics. And that may or may not be an accurate phrase to use, so I apologize if it's not. But I actually had an understanding when there was a conversation in one of these rooms and they were talking about whether you identify as being disabled or not. And I don't identify as being disabled. Like, I don't wake up in my head. If you ask me who I am, I don't say I'm a blind person, I'm blah blah blah, because it describes me, it doesn't define me. So I was like in this room listening, and I was like, yeah, I don't actually identify as having a disability. It doesn't really occupy any part of my brain throughout the day, unless there's only a few instances. It's not a constant thing where I wake up and I'm like, oh fuck.
You definitely don't fucking feel sorry for yourself at all.
100%, yeah.
And that's fucking G-as, man, because then it's good for people to hear that, because there's a lot of fucking youngins that think they're fucking like freaks, or they're fucking like, they want to wake up and they want to, like, do you know what I mean? And it's good for them to hear from an older head that doesn't wake up and doesn't feel sorry for himself. Like,
there's nothing to feel sorry about. It doesn't impact my quality of life. Do you know what I mean? Like, it really doesn't, bro.
Like that first night I met you and we got fucking lit, blackout drunk, and you were fucking walking around navigating better than me. I'm bumping into shit.
But you know what I realized when I was having this thought in my head, this inner monologue, and I was thinking about the fact that I don't identify as being disabled. What clicked in my head? How people can be like I'm not a man. I don't identify as a man, because it sounds, if you never have these thoughts, or you never have this thing where it applies to your life directly, you can't really fathom it. But when someone's like, but you are blind, and I was like, yes, I am blind, but I don't identify.
You don't see it as a disadvantage.
Well, it doesn't identify me. It's not who I am. It's like saying I'm a black t-shirt. You're not. You're wearing it, and it's something that someone could use to point you out in a crowd, but it's not who you are. And then I was like, I started to understand a bit more and have a bit more understanding towards the trans plight and stuff like that. And it was a real interesting revelation to me.
So you said, what were you born with? A degenerative
vision impairment. It's called Leber's congenital amaurosis.
So could you see up until a point, a bit like
I could see significantly more, yeah. And then as I sort of would have growth spurts, from what my mom's told me, it would get progressively worse.
No shit. Do you remember when you had like a little bit of vision?
For sure, yeah. I went through, having varying degrees of vision into my 20s, like.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah. Now it's pretty much the last The last time I went and got my sight checked, for some reason, I don't know why I fucking did this, but it was
I'm
2018.
sorry for laughing.
No, it is
But
hilarious.
you're
It's
laughing.
so funny.
and
It's funny,
making
bro.
me laugh.
It was 2018, and I had to get a doctor's like verification of my sight condition for some reason, even though it's documented that there's no fucking cure for it and it's not reversing. I had to go and get a updated like doctor's report check on my sight condition, and for some reason it landed on my birthday, so I went into my fucking the place and I got it checked, and they're like, yeah, you're pretty much like fully blind. You've got like maybe 1%. You've got light perception, and it was just the shittiest news for my birthday, bro. I was like, oh, this is fucking.
It's the worst fucking eye test ever.
Yeah, well, it was just a fucking worst birthday. I was like, why would you do this today? Give yourself a fucking day, cause like.
That's fucked. That is fucked. Would you say there is a surgery that could reverse it? Would you do it?
Sure.
You would?
Yeah, fucking oath. I'm not out of like excuse me, not
Is that
out
me?
yeah.
I don't know.
Not out of desperation and not out of like a sense of being freed or rescued, but because it would be fucking interesting.
You'd fucking realise
You
all
know
your
what I
friends
would-
are hideous cunts.
You know what I'd do though? I'll probably get the surgery and not tell anyone.
See what motherfuckers do.
And I'd probably get it and just not tell anyone and just like fucking live my life with the added benefit of actually being able to see. Like,
Oh, that's G shit. That is fucking G shit.